12:30, live and exclusive Premier League match here. It is the first Saturday of the new Premier League season. We will be with you every single Premier League Saturday, and today it is Aston Villa taking on Newcastle United. Let's get a recap of the lineups, all thanks to Betfair. Here's our match commentator, Stan Matterface.
Well, Doniel Marlon and Ian Martson are on the bench for Aston Villa today, and Emi Martinez is suspended, but Morgan Rogers is back. So it's Bizot in goal, Cash, Konza, Mings and Digne the back four. Pau Torres left on the bench, Kamara and Onana at the base of the midfield, with Tielemans behind Rogers, Watkins and John McGinn. For Newcastle United, new signing Aaron Ramsdale only makes the bench. Nick Pope keeps his place in goal. Trippier, Cher, Byrne and Livramento are the back four. The well-established midfield of Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali and Joel Linton are in there behind Elanga, who starts a debut for him in the colours of Newcastle. Gordon at false nine and Barnes on the left-hand side, in the absence, of course, of Alexander Isak, who's not here.
Yep, he's not here. Those lineups were brought to you by Betfair. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. Now, and that is exactly where we move to next, because all the talk ahead of this has been about one man and one man only. A striker who's not only... he's not currently playing, actually. Yeah, there's a bit of a curveball there. But he has been winding Newcastle fans up all summer, especially in relation to this transfer market. You've guessed it, it is the one and only Gabby Agbonlahor.
So we get in the club and Gabby is pure winding everyone up.
Newcastle aren't a big club worldwide. Big club in Newcastle. That's facts.
I'm telling you right now, it's not on. Something's clearly changed in that lad's head since he's left the Villa.
They missed out on Ekatike. They missed out on Gahey, Trafford. I think Newcastle, if they tried to sign me, maybe they would miss out on me.
We've had a few more drinks. Everyone's mortal. And Gabby won't stop.
You're worth like billions, but you can't. You have to sell.
It's all kicking off, and Pete's absolutely lost his heat.
You don't have to sell this summer. It's all paper nonsense. You haven't got a clue.
As if this night could get any more mental. I've just seen Alex get absolutely rage because he wants to go to a different club.
Ball given away to Isak. There's his goal. Alexander Isak.
Away, Alex, man. What's wrong with Bijou? And then, out of nowhere, of all people, Gabby steps in.
Who does he think he is, by the way?
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
listen, I can't banter with Newcastle, but like, who do you think you are, mate?
Correct, mate.
Disgusting. What that club's done for you. Who does this guy think he is? Get your boots on. Big season for Newcastle, and now you're saying you're adamant you don't want to play. Like, what?
You know what? I always thought Gabby was a canny lad. I just want to make sure we get back as a family, because us Geordies, we stick together.
Still a canny lad?
I love Newcastle, you know, like I've just called it. It's the PSR derby today. We've got to come together. We've got money, but we can't spend, so we've got a lot in common. Villa and Newcastle.
You actually do. The one thing you don't have in common is, though, this Alexander Isak saga.
Yes.
You know, I feel like everyone's talked about it to death, and it hasn't even reached its conclusion. It still feels very much in the middle of this whole drama. So, the situation at the moment is, of course, that Liverpool put £110 million bid, not £110, £110 million bid for Alexander Isak. It was rejected by Newcastle. Now, Alexander Isak apparently told Eddie Howe before the end of last season that he wanted to leave, so it's not new to Newcastle, but the way that this seems to have materialised with him not going on the pre-season tour, it looks like it's taken a little bit of a sort of ugly turn, if you like. I mean, how should Newcastle be approaching it from now going forward?
I think because of the problems Newcastle have with the PSR rules, they're going to have to sell him if the price comes in, right, that they want, 130, 140 million. If there wasn't these rules in place, Reshmin, the amount of money the Newcastle owners have got, I'd say shut up and you're going to stay and you're going to play. If
He's
not,
contracted till 2028.
If you're not, you're going to go and sit in the reserves and you're not going to play. Simple as that. So that's not going to happen. But Newcastle, they've got to replace him. There's talk about Wissa coming in, but that's to replace Callum Wilson. They need another star striker to replace Isak before they let him go. So expect 12-13 days of chaos with this transfer.
Look, Liverpool play Newcastle next Monday night.
Ooh.
I think it'll be sorted after that. But I think it will be sorted. Newcastle, I don't think, started the summer thinking that they were going to have to search out a replacement, but I think there was always the idea in the back of their mind that it could be a possibility. He obviously wants to go. I understand that the relationship is still good, that the manager and the forward have spoken over the course of the last few days, but he is still training on his own. There are serious problems because he's still a Newcastle player, and if they decide that actually they're not going to sell him, he has got to play because he wants to represent Sweden at the World Cup next summer, and he needs to be playing regular football. So, I mean, the one thing that Eddie Howe has been very good at, I think, is that despite the fact, obviously clearly being very cross about the situation, he has maintained a good relationship with him, and he does say there is a way back, but it's going to be difficult if the sale doesn't go through. I think it will go through. I think it will go to the wire, but Liverpool have got the money and they'll probably spend it. But it is dependent on Newcastle finding somebody else to fill that role. That ain't easy.
Yeah, definitely not easy, as we've seen over the years. We've seen the likes of Arsenal trying to find this magic number 9, and it's taken this long. I've got to ask, just on a side note, Stuart Pearce on this one, if we look at how Liverpool play offensively and the exciting talent that they've already got on their roster, I mean, Alexander Isak needs to play, as Sam mentioned rightly, that he wants to play in the World Cup next year. He wants to qualify with Sweden. Do Liverpool need him as badly as he needs to leave, as he wants to leave?
I wouldn't say they need him as badly as he seems to want to leave, but I'll tell you what, at this moment in time, I see Liverpool as the favourites to win the division. You bring Isak in with the goals that he can bring to the team as well as what they've got, all of a sudden, wow, that does look very, very formidable.
Yeah. Okay, well, they've taken, obviously there's a chance, and a big chance, that he will be going. What about the incomings at Newcastle then? Their fourth signing of the summer is almost complete. You mentioned it actually earlier, Jacob Ramsey, who would go for 40 million from Villa. But, Anthony Elanga, Aaron Ramsdale as potentially the backup keeper, Malik Thiaw as well in defence. I mean, it's not been a bad window, has it, for Newcastle?
Not at all, and what Jacob Ramsey will bring is competition in that midfield. They've got a very strong midfield today of Tonali, Guimaraes, Joelinton. I'm sure Jacob Ramsey will be fighting for one of the number 8 positions rather than that left-hand side. They've got Gordon, they've got Elanga, they've got Barnes, they've got Murphy in that position.
For Joelinton, do you think?
Yeah, but you're playing in the Champions League. You need players. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be suspensions. There's going to be players out of form. So Newcastle have had a very good window. Hopefully they can keep Isak. If not, they have to replace him because the other options they have aren't at the level, anywhere near the level that Isak is.
I get the sense that they'll sign Johan Visser from Brentford, but I think Gabby's right. They need somebody else because goals are the currency on which football clubs are trading at the moment. It's not necessarily a game for tough defences. It's more about, especially in the Premier League, it's about who can score the most goals. And Newcastle scored so many, and a lot of that was down to the way the team was set up for Alexander Isak. So they do need to find a way. They were frustrated early in pre-season, there's no doubt about it, because their plan was to do their transfer business early. But there has been disruption off the pitch, a little bit of, disruption with Amanda Staveley, Medrad Godusi, Dan Ashworth obviously over the last 12 months, Paul Mitchell leaving, Darren Ills has been ill, he's had health problems, so that has caused issues. All of those things have caused issues for Newcastle United, but I think as the end of pre-season has come, and they haven't won hardly any games by the way in pre-season,
yes,
they've got a little bit more together, there's been a little bit more unity, there's a bit of a resolve about the group now to go out and continue what has been